Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 7 of my Satisfactory playthrough. In this one, I get the space elevator up. I love it when that thing goes in. I don't know about you. I crank up the sound, so watch your speakers a bit maybe, or crank it up like I do. I like to make the house rumble when that thing goes in. You know, with the clacks on and the siren. And anyways, okay. And then I have to get ready for power production. I don't know about you, but hey, spoiler alert, I immediately go for coal power. I truly think this is the next where I want to be, and what you need to do is automated power. I'll do it. I don't mind it. I'm really glad they gave us bio burners in the beginning of the game, but to be honest with you, kind of like hate feeding them and having to babysit them and all the rest of that. And then if you don't, or you're off doing something, and then you run it up and blah blah blah. Anyways, I hope you enjoy the episode. If you do, if you're new, subscribe, like, all the rest of that fun stuff, and leave me chats. Leave me messages. You want to see something, or I miss something, or whatever. Anyways, thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoy the episode. No. Grr. Come on. Come here. There we go. And there. Okay. Now this is built up, isn't it? 31, 30, 29. Am I losing or gaining? I'm going to lose until it can't keep up. Oh, I'd hate to do that all MK2 all the way out. I'm going to have to let the factory run again for a while, just to be able to build up enough concrete for what I'm doing. When you get into asphalt, it costs just concrete, not concrete and metal, or not concrete and plate. So just a general description here. This, I'm thinking I have enough height. This is where my trains are going to come in. I'm going to have to work around, or either that or not even tap that one. Cover over with foundations and just, forget that ever existed. And then my trains come in this side. And then they do the same thing as anything else. They work all of their commodities underneath up into the bottom end of this thing, this contraption I have here. And then I'm going to go default on this now. There and there. And then the commodities come off the trains, go underneath, or directly up into this level. Not 100% on that one. Commonly, they come in below and then travel to where they need to. If it's, say, iron, it goes to the iron area, copper to the copper and that sort of thing. But what I've done here is I've allowed myself a lot of room for later on. I find the bottleneck in this game is space and room. And the thing is, if you look out, I got a lot of space here. Truly, there's a lot of room. So I should never run out of space. So it comes down to your beginning. It's where you start the whole thing. If you start with an area that's big and huge and you can grow into it, then, to me anyways, I find when I repeat this pattern, I have space to drive. And then I'll, of course, continue to build this way. And I've already started the bottom end of this, so you already know I'm going that way. And then I'll go out into the desert a little ways, and I'll probably, 8 sections of this. 8 of these squares, if you want to call it a square. Cubes, really, is what it is, because it has 3 levels to it. But I still don't think I didn't grab enough. Nope. So I'm going to have to wait. And then the space elevator goes up here. This way. You know what I mean? Like, I'll put it in a ways. No big deal. It goes there. I usually put it off to one side, so I'll something towards that effect there. Leaving lots of space on the other side and lots of space over here. I normally build like a headquarters near one of the stairways, so that's why I cram the space elevator as close to that stairway as I can, following basically this line right here. And then the power works around it. Nothing clips. Nothing's in anybody's way. That kind of deal. And this pattern of putting a pole in the corner follows for the next one and the next one and the next one and over and over and over and over. And that's how I get my power around my factory. Underneath here, I run street lights along the road, and then factory lights up into the ceiling of this, of course, all the way around. I'm a power hog when it comes to my builds and whatnot. Just watch my open world Icarus. I'm power hog, huge power hog, and so I build for it. Meaning when I finally build the space elevator and I finally get all the parts and pieces up into it. This section exists for quite a while. This whole stuff here that I've built, it exists for quite a while, and it has to. I think I'm going to grab a couple. It has to survive here for a while, because I don't actually get the factory built upstairs for actually quite a while. But then when I do, it starts slow, and then it just ramps up. But my whole point is I like to get a good foundation in before I try to expand upon that foundation. I find it works better for me later on. I'm more able to cope with what's going to happen with the rest of the factory as it grows and as it builds. I think I'm okay. I'm just waiting for... waiting for the sink here to 1. Yay! Yeah, but okay, and here's the other thing I should point out. If you remember, it was like a couple thousand points to start. Okay, it's now to 18,000. I'm however far through getting this coupon together. I'm still not using these, so put them in here. And let's watch this go. So I was basically at 408 points per minute. Yeah. $6,000 per minute. Am I going to make it? No, I don't. I'm close. I'm so close. I just wanted to show you what the next coupon's worth. They raise in price. Okay, which means this whole setup isn't going to be worth as much as it was at the beginning of the game. So what you're sinking, although the value of what you're sinking does not change, the amount you're getting does not change. The amount you need changes. And therefore, this won't be worth it in a while. The time's coming off here or whatever. It's just to illustrate that this will keep going. This continues. This doesn't. And I think I did it wrong, actually. Now that I'm looking at it. I think I made a mistake. Huh, I did. So that continues there. These line up and everything all nice and spectacularly. The reason why I line up my roads, even if, let's say I never use roads on a particular level, I line them all up because then when you're using the floor hole conveyor lift floor hole thing, you know where you're at when you're underneath. It makes counting. Oh, I'm 4 in from the road over here. Blah blah blah. You know, I mean, it can get fairly cluttered under there. The more organization you have, the better off you are, personally. And you do need to be particular about it. You do need to go that extra distance and go that extra mile to be organized. Have your power in place, personally. Don't think about it afterwards. Like, this is all spaghetti madness, and I didn't care. Why? Doesn't matter. I mean, I never even raised this original pole out to make it look good. I don't care. This is all going to get deleted. So really, it doesn't matter, right? Okay. But on that, well, I don't want to be deleting. I don't want to be redoing. I don't want to be unorganized. I want to be organized. So yes, I'm rather militant about it. And staying organized and being organized and keeping myself there at that level. 665. Yeah, see, I mean, I peaked up at 6,100 or 10,000 points per minute when I had all those frames coming through, but I'm now back down to about 408 per minute. So I'm only making about 408 points per minute. And this becomes where I was telling you before that it matters. Okay, you go in there. 665, and it's 18,000 points. So the 411, my list was wrong, by the way. I forgot to mention that in the other episode. The list that I have that I showed on the screen, it's actually wrong. They've halved it if I was correct in the first place. So 18,000 points. Well, my 211 or 411, that's not making as much. So although the amount that you're producing stays constant, pretty much, you know, add new things to it and whatnot, but I mean, it becomes millions and millions of points later on. Oops, wrong place. So what I'm waiting for is management. These wall power sockets. I need them. And I believe it or not, I need both of them. So as I'm waiting for more concrete to go, as I'm waiting for more of basically everything to get going here, you know, advancing myself, what I need to do is build that space elevator, because I really, 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 and you'll see it once I get it, I really need to get to phase 1. So it's going to take these pieces in the assembler down here, smart plating, which is reinforced iron plate and rotors, which, I mean, I can get set up for it now. So that sets up the plating. Okay, the smart plating. I have to pretty much wait for rotors. That'll get it started, though. And that's pretty much... I mean, I'm not making enough of things. Like, I'm not making enough screws. I'm not... all sorts of stuff. This is severely lacking in a bunch of places. This will eventually fill up. With screws, and when it does fill up with screws, this will have a lot more screws on it, and so this will get backed up a little bit more. I mean, I am going to continue to build off camera, okay, but I'm not going to put any guts in it. There we go, come on. Okay, 20, okay. That should be enough. Yes, it is. Okay, so here's a special for you. Where is it? There it is. Couldn't make it. Yes, I tried to zip line jump into the stairway. Didn't work. What I was mentioning before, the zip lining, if you create power lines on the roof, you can zip line along the roof a lot easier than trying to use power poles and such. Okay, so now I better still have enough. I do. Okay. So these are lookout towers. And you can climb up to the top of them. And you can look out. Okay, so I'm looking in the back on the left. And you see that white mark? That's the corner of this. So now I want to be right there. Okay. Here it goes. And it starts. This might injure myself, but. Okay, builds the base. The base isn't bad. I like that part. That's cool. But then it's when the top part comes in. Go. I always love seeing that thing get built. Very cool. Very, very cool. Anyways, so I need 50 of those smart plating. Project assembly platform, deliver, 50 of these, and you pull this down, you seal the container, and then you push down again and you send it off into space. So with that there, and not needing any power that I can remember, that's now in place. You'll be able to pretty much see that from a long way away. Okay, so then I can build my base around this, meaning the hub and the MAM and the fix-it shop and other stuff. On this side of things, I build what I refer to as my shop, my mall. It's a concept that came out of Factorio, believe it or not, of all things. The people that I was watching play Factorio would build what they called a mall when they were, building through Factorio. So for me, that mall starts around about here. Leave enough space. Yep. Okay. And that'll work for my first one. Sure. And then it's a series of now I'll have to recount. They might have added items to the game in this most recent update. So what I do is I have, these are double stacked, by the way. And okay, so 3 high, and I'll continue on to the west from here when I need to. But what ends up happening is the stackable conveyor pole. 1, 2, 3. This comes down to there. This comes out to here. Sometimes I leave the pole, this pole alone. Sometimes I don't. But a sign goes right in front of this. And that sign, depending on which sign I use usually use the small sign. So I stack 3 signs on top of each other. And then you just come here and you grab whatever you need. The stackable pole goes up. And then you can access this one. And as you fill these, okay, as you fill these, you fill them from behind. So you use this, 1 space away, One space away, and one space away. And now this doesn't get mixed up into the stairway. Okay. You fill it from the bottom. I don't have lights, but you use the conveyor lifts, meaning this conveyor lift goes there, that conveyor lift. You'll see the green line, everybody? Okay. So as you line up that green line, there we go. This one is automatically connected. This one and that one. And this is how you fill it. Okay. You basically use, because yeah, I can't get in there. From down below now. And B was, I don't know why B is my key. But from down here, and I don't know which way I'm going to do it, so I'm not going to do it quite yet. But I'll just show you an idea. Would be that goes in onto... So that one lines up, I would say there. And that one lines up there. And then you bring your in, goes in. And then this whole level underneath here basically ends up, because you can tell, just having 3 there, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3 across. Oh man, this fills up real quick. So this whole logistics area, I keep it as clear as I can and make it into being able to supply that mall. Okay, now here's the reasoning behind the mall. Okay, so the... Oh, I don't have very many of these left. Okay, so with the mall there, I have a couple of options. Okay, I've already mentioned I'm going to have a builder train. Okay, so architecture here. The zoop. The train would have to come in pretty much here. Okay, meaning my train track is going to be... Oh, I don't have any more. Right along this... Right along this guy, and it commonly... Yeah, I would... If I leave that much room... No, I don't even need that much room. If I leave that much room for a train track, I'll be fine. So what ends up happening is I either put a hole in the floor and then swoop the train up, you know, maybe back a ways, but and then I sit and I fill the train with the stuff in my mall. Meaning I go to this, oh, I need plates. Okay, grab the plates, go back here. These aren't here. Go back here, access the train car, and put the plates in. And then, you know, access. Come on. Let me grab you. Okay. And here we go. There. So that would be, I even named it Builder Train Setup. So as you can see, a concrete, you know what I mean? All the things and parts and pieces needed to build whatever you need to out in the world. Okay? So that's, I mean, just an aspect of something that because I am unwilling in this particular playthrough, okay, not forevermore, but this particular playthrough, I am going to go all vanilla. Just a personal choice. That's it. No great whatever mystery to it, everybody. Just, I am going to do this one totally vanilla, and I'm going to show you options in how to build, and then later on when I build other areas, how I do it so I can fly. Using all the in-game components. Yes. I'm not going to... what you do is you basically embed power into the walls as you build your structure. And you just take care of that as you're building, it's a factor of you're going to think about it when you're building your walls, because if you don't think about it, you're not going to have the ability to fly around your structure. Same as when I build the blueprint. I build a framework around it so that I can access being able to fly around my blueprints when I'm creating them. It was something I noticed in my last playthrough that I really was not happy. Really, I'm struggling with rotors, am I? Okay, well, now I'm not struggling with rotors no more. In my last playthrough, when I was dancing around my 16, not very many, I noticed I couldn't get up to the top of my blueprints because I was sitting there jumping and whatnot, and the jetpack doesn't cut it for that. So I used the wings. And then I noticed when I got to the top of my blueprints at times, then I'm fighting with... because I got no power up there. It's something falling out of the sky. So what I did was I created a frame around the frame of the blueprints. And it worked for me. And, well, I'll show all that. That's plans to come. Teasers. So anyway, I am going to continue building this off camera. And I'm going to bring it out probably 6 sections. Okay, and while I'm waiting for those 6 sections for the commodities and everything, like I'm just going to leave this running, and I'm going to let all the stuff build up in all the all the storages, and then I'm going to build this, and I'm thinking 6 sections. So I have built all of the pieces that I needed to. So now it's seal it up time. And then send it time. And off it goes. Yay! Phase 2. Okay, so in Tier 3 and 4, we got a bunch of options, but I'll point out the important ones to me. Vehicular transport, remember I mentioned I don't really use trucks. Improved melee combat does come in, but that's only when, say, my wife or somebody else is going to join me, because I don't have too much problem with the regular Xeno Zapper. Coal power, mondo important. This is, well, pretty much the first one I pick. Without a doubt, needed. Okay.
Milestone reached. Coal is an improved alternative power source to biomass and can be fully automated if provided water with the new pipeline buildings and power throughout the initial setup. Coal has been added to the resource scanner.
So,
ensure the close proximity of water to the coal production line. Note, pumps will aid in vertical transport of fluids through pipes. Note, throughput and volume indicators are added to each pipe section automatically.
So now we have to get into pipes and such. The logistics now add the MK1 pipes and pipeline and pipe support and whatnot. Okay. If you noticed in there, it says the new water buildings will add to. Okay, there was a time where coal power did not need water. In case you're wondering, in case you ever get stuck on that one, like why does it say new? So then, myself, I mean, here's the MK3 belt, okay, but you need steel beams to get it. So that is in my thinking. But you need advanced steel production to get there. In which case we have now a bunch of other rewards that come with advanced steel production. But for that we need basic steel production. Okay, meaning we will get the foundry, we'll get new products, we'll get steel beam, steel pipe, and then the ability to make the versatile framework, which is needed up here to complete phase 2. And you'll notice, like melee combat and vehicle, they don't add much. The advanced steel adds the automated wiring, which is just right here, and then we already have the first one. Okay, now I need 500, and I have 50 left over from the smart plating, because what the thing was is I built that over here, and to make it, and then I didn't get back to it fast enough. I was building stuff in the upstairs and whatnot. I was running around the base doing all sorts of fun stuff. I am still, and since I have 50 of it, I am actually kind of wondering what it does in the sink. Truly, I'm wondering how it does. I'm at 3 coupons, not too bad. So, let's dump that in. And there it goes. Is it as good? 14,000. 27,000. Yeah, it's doing pretty good. These were the framework that I picked out of the inventory over there and put them in. Yeah, it gave me 4. Woohoo! That's what I needed, I think. Okay, so I picked frames out of here and I dumped them back into that inventory again. I think that's the last time I'll be doing that because I'm going to start needing those frameworks. I'm back to needing these. I spent it all to get the the hub here. I spent all of that. Pod launched. I gotta wait for the pod to come back. 4 minutes. I am losing my brain. Okay, so I got 4 points. Management. So I do like the pipeline wall attachments, and I do like the floor attachment. Okay, but I've been waiting for MK2 for the wall outlets. I have been waiting for this. To me, this is important. The rest of this, foundations, walls, architecture hasn't been added to. Remember, some of the upgrades will add to this. Dotted lines. From the last episode, you'll notice that I had road work up top. I had put asphalt in. Okay, well, the dotted lines come into effect there as you're making that stuff around. That's where the cart comes in. Not going to get it yet. That's down the line. Unfortunately, I'm still walking. Statues are very, very late game for me. I don't mind the boombox. I thought it was kind of neat, but I didn't like a lot of the music. It's just me. I don't know. I'm weird. And the coffee cup will eventually be... I gotta get the coffee cup. The billboards and the label signs and whatnot is important, and I will be getting it. I don't care much about the light control panel. The floodlights, the indoor lighting, and the street lights. Those, I already have the street lights. These become important. They have to be opened up with the quick wire, which under Caterium, I do believe... Yeah, I can't get it yet. So I need... This is the new addition to the game, by the way. The priority power switch. We had a power switch. Now we have the priority power switch. I will be showing you how that works in a little bit. Basically, it sections off portions of your factory so that certain portions of it will turn on or turn off depending upon what you want and what you're doing. For right now, I need coal power, and under production, I need the water extractor. So I need to get on copper, and under power, I have everything. I'm good. And then logistics, I need copper. So this is what I've been been waiting for. I've been hemming and hawing on rebuilding my copper area, and now I need to. Now I have no choice. No ifs, ands, buts, or maybes about it. That copper area has to get redone. How many? Sure, cool. If you're going to regenerate, I'll grab more nuts. More nuts, more nuts. Come on, buddy. Come on. That's it. Oh, come on. Impure. No. Yep. Okay, we're going to get some sulfur on our way back.
Data shows this as a mix of sulfide and sulfate minerals. It could
This
be
will
an
be
indication of recent
the
volcanic
last
activity.
entry in the
A
map.
new research tree exploring volatile self-defense applications can now be accessed in the MAM.
There you go. I was... I couldn't remember what the last one was in the MAM. And now we know. So I'm now thinking I'm just going to leave this And I'm going to let it produce what it produces, and I'm not going to worry about it. And I'm going to see if there is a... well, pretty much if there's a better mine. I'm sure there is pure... pure copper on the map board. I'm sure there is. Mine. Getting to the point of being desperate. I really don't want to build a bunch of stuff up on top of a impure, and I didn't really want to run wires all the way across. Sulfur. Do we got enough? Yes, we do. The gun. The Nobelisk. Okay, so I need... it's coal, yeah. But I need 50 sulfur. Normal. Well, 2 normals. And a normal. Okay. So, we might as well use this one because it's close. I'm running this one back because I don't want to have like a multitude of places that I have to run back and forth between. I already have that other section that I got to run towards, you know, to gather my concrete and whatnot. I just didn't want another area. That's all. And zoop, zoopity zoop. I recall a time when we didn't have the zoop function. For anybody who's played the game in times of old, those were just not fun. I have to admit, not fun. I really got to tap that Sam. Okay, so we're gonna come in this way. Same thing. We're gonna have 3 smelters. Oops. Totally messed that up. Then we're going to split it. And that ought to do. Okay, so you'll notice that I put this in first before I go to the conveyor lift and then go down, and because I can't remember, I'll be honest with you, I can't remember. Sometimes the conveyors won't go the direction you want them to if you don't have a conveyor to designate the direction. So sometimes you want to designate a direction that that conveyor is going to run before you complete it, before you set it up, sometimes before you push the button. Because if you don't, sometimes I call it a riser. It's the it's under logistics. It's this thing, the conveyor lift. I call it a riser. I should build a riser the way we used to have to build them before they gave us the lift. It was interesting. It was back and forth with the stackable conveyor poles, and then you slowly lifted it up. It was interesting. I don't know. It was fun. It was days of old. Memories of the things we used to put up with. I don't think I can get up there. Nope. Okay. We are going to go number 6. Give ourselves a ramp. Okay, so can we run? Oops. Can we run it? Yeah, we can. Off that one. To the corner down to there, from there over to here, from there to here. Okay. I do believe, yeah, we just went max above capacity. We just went above. Okay. Not horrible, but yeah, whatever. Okay. So, copy settings. And Control V. And Control V. And then we will, from here, we're going to have 3 constructors. And I'm not absolutely sure how I'm going to set this up yet. The copper sheets are 20 per minute, 10 come out. This will make 30, but it's going to chew 30, and I'm only getting 60. But I will be upgrading, and I mean, we're still using, everybody, we're still using MK1 belts, which means I'm only getting 60 no matter what that mine does or says. So I only really need 2 of these, to be honest with you. So, why don't we do it that way? Seeing as how I can't produce it anyways. And that makes 2 copper sheets. That one comes to here and powers both of those. A merger. Point that. Let's stack another one. And then from here, we are going to put a storage. There we go. All set. I just got to wait for ore to come in, and that's coming in there. I didn't pick up. Yes, I did. I have some copper. Let's put copper into you. Can I get up on there? No. And a merger. And a merger. Okay. 20 and 40. Yeah. Okay. That I'm going to have to let build up for a while. Let's bring you guys down here. And then this will be... Okay, so you need copper to build pipes. Makes sense, right? Copper pipes. Yeah, okay. So it's yet just another commodity in a long line of things we're going to need. Stuff. And basic steel production. So to, I guess to finish off this episode, I'm going to zip really fast through a bunch of building where I did want to show you a couple things in here, and mostly it's just the zip lines. When making zip lines, be very careful where your start point and end point are, and make sure you have enough platform. When the rest of this is just me building another cube or another quadrant of the factory floor. And like I said, there's either going to be 6 or 8 of these in total. And, well, they don't go up slow. So I ended up, in days of old, we didn't have an up to the zip line. And now you can go up. Except on this particular one, excuse me, on this particular one, I didn't leave myself enough room. So when I go up, I end up dying because I didn't leave enough room to land. So that's one of the few things I wanted to show you in this. But yeah, I mean, I go about making, I can't remember what my plan was. I don't have it on paper. I kind of, I have a basic plan, and for me to put the whole thing on paper would be incredibly time consuming. And so with the ability to delete, basically, mass quantities and just overbuild, personally, if all you do is just overbuild things, well, then you're never going to be behind anyways. So, yeah, I end up jumping around and going back and forth and grabbing all the parts and pieces, and then eventually finish off what I wanted, and I didn't have enough cement anyways. So I go about making sure I have enough commodities to build, well, basically enough power plants, enough coal plants. This is me making a service corridor out to the area that I'm going to be mining. Kind of what I mean by that is any other service corridor in any other city. For those who don't know, in and around, I don't care what city you live in pretty much North America anyway, that I've seen, there's service corridors. They cut all the plants and wildlife and everything else out of the way, and then they put in power lines, gas lines, all the rest of that. So that's kind of what I mean by a service corridor. And that leads down to the coal mines that are down below in the valley down there. Not much to clear down there. Right around the riverside, it's fairly clear. Yellow beastie, yellow slug. And then I clear myself out, like I said, just a service corridor out and back to the coal area. I get some other parts and pieces. I find a quartz vein. I do believe I find a sulfur vein. I just wanted to show all this just to quickly zip through it because this is a couple hours where there's not a lot to tell. I mean, most of the time I'm not going to show you me farming like that. So, but anyways, I just make sure that I got enough parts and pieces for the coal generators that I'm going to make. For the water, I figure out my numbers and my math and all the rest of that fun stuff. Anyways, I thank you for joining me for this episode. In the next one, I haven't planned it quite yet, but I think I'm just going to complete the factory without putting any guts into it. You know, without putting any parts or pieces or anything into it. Also, yeah, well, that's about it. I don't know. Anyways, I thank you for joining me for this episode. And, see you in the next one. If you like, subscribe, all the rest of that fun stuff. And, keep it building.